All right. What is up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Very excited for today's video, coming at you with another viewer request on Casper. Okay, I do viewer request every single week. So if you want to see your cryptocurrency, your ticker in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below, and I'll be happy to get to it as soon as I can. And we're going to break down the recent price action. If this chart looks confusing, stay tuned to the end of the video. I'm going to break it down so simple. There's going to be lots of clear explanations, and you're really going to learn a lot, especially when it comes to buy and sell signals and what to really look for. Okay, so not only are we going to break down chart patterns, okay, but we're also going to use the MACD and the relative strength index. Using those two together, combined with the chart data up here of the price action of the candles, you can really start to formulate an edge and give yourself a competitive advantage. Trading is like going to battle, it's like going to war. You need to have the proper weapons and have as many weapons really at your disposal as you can. Okay, that's what's really going to help give you an edge. And so that's what we're going to do in today's video. All right. So we've got some of the most recent price action pulled up here, and there's a couple things going on that I want you to pay attention to, okay? Specifically, we have a MACD buy signal that we recently got, and we have a slight bullish divergence on the relative strength index. If you're not familiar with those, what you're going to do is you're going to pay attention to this blue line on the MACD, and once you see it cross above and it starts trading above this orange line, that is your buy signal, okay? Now, we have already gotten a decent rally since off of that buy signal. Okay, we went up about 15% off of that initial signal there. But I want to show you guys what happened the last time we got a MACD buy signal and a bullish divergence. What happened with Casper. Okay, so we'll do that. But before we do, if you're not familiar with bullish divergence, I basically want to go over it with you guys really quickly. Okay, so notice how we have a low here. Okay, and then we basically go down in a downtrend, right? So we have a low, lower low right over here. Our relative strength index has basically stayed flat at this moment. So what that means is that there's a slight bullish divergence because the token is dropping, but the relative strength of the token is not dropping. It's not getting weaker. The strength is not evaporating from this token. And when you see things like that, it's an indicator you may have bullish activity in the future. So we started off here by, having a slight bullish divergence, really just remaining flat as the token is dropping lower. And then what we see is, we end up getting a MACD buy signal. So let's go ahead and zoom out back to the past, and let's take a look at the last time that we got a MACD buy signal and bullish divergence. It was actually right over here. So we see we have a low, lower low, like we're making lower lows, but the relative strength index is actually going up, right? And so this is a full bullish divergence right here, where the strength of the token is going higher, but the token itself is getting lower and lower, right? That's a bullish divergence. And then we had our MACD buy signal with the blue line crossing above the orange line. And Casper went on a phenomenal rally that we were able to break down very, very well, right? We ended up rallying over 100% off of that bullish divergence. And that MACD buy signal was really the momentum that got it started. What we did afterwards was we broke out of this symmetrical triangle pattern. And from there, we formed a bull flag. So that's what this is right here. This is our nice little bull flag. We have our flagpole up here, and then we have the actual flag itself. We consolidate in this period and then get a sharp breakout to the upside. And what we do is we hit our bullish price targets right here, pretty much exactly, right? Now we do wick above, but when you look at where all of the candles are closing and opening right here, it's right along this bullish price target. So it was some very beautiful technical analysis. And TA is actually worth it to learn, okay? Whether you believe it or not, about 70% of all trading is done by algos. So once you start to learn some of the formulas that they use, because we got these price targets based off of the Fibonacci formula and using the fibs. Okay, so if you're not familiar with those, I have a lot of tutorials on the fibs and how you can use them to gain valid support levels or gain valid bullish or bearish price targets. For instance, here we have we're using the fibs to get our valid bearish price targets. This is also known as support levels. So what we did is I said, hey, if we break this line right here, 0.030, our next support level is going to be down here at 0.027. And if you look at where all of these candlesticks were opening and closing at, right along that support level that I gave you guys back in the past over here. Once we broke through this level, I said, all right, this is going to be our valid support level. Now we do have a few wicks down below, but those wicks is really just drawing liquidity, okay, and people getting stopped out. That's why you see such large wicks is people need to draw liquidity from somewhere, really to make the trades and make the moves that they want to make. Okay, so what we need to be cautious of is that it looks like another bear flag. So that's this bullish channel that we're paying attention to right here. We're going to basically consolidate and move in between here until we get a breakout. Okay, now the breakout can come either to the upside or to the downside. So that's the main thing that I want to emphasize right here, because look, here we have a nice breakdown. We have our flag channel. This is our bullish channel right here. And then we get a breakdown, right? And so now we have another flagpole. We're consolidating in this channel. And if we break below this trend line here and break this 0.2723 support line, then most likely we're going to head back down here to 0.0231. All right. Now, again, it's all about looking at the signals. So, are we having bearish signals at this moment? Because over here we got a nice MACD sell signal. Okay. What just happened there? Hold on one second. So over here is where we got our MACD sell signal, okay, is right about here. So right along this candlestick here, and we can take a look at the measured move real quick and just see how much it fell, and ended up falling over 45% off of that MACD sell signal, okay? So, right now we're not seeing a sell signal. What we're seeing is actually a buy signal, okay? And if you look at the chart, we had what's known as a ascending triangle, right? So not a rising wedge, but we had an ascending triangle, right? And that's indicated by this trend line here, okay? And then this level of resistance up here to the top. And you're going to look to see if you're going to trade in between here and get a breakout to the upside, or if you're going to break down to the downside. Obviously, we ended up getting our breakout to the downside, but we combined a chart pattern with a MACD sell signal. And once you're able to combine things together, right? Once you start seeing 2 or 3 or more signals together, that's what really gives you that edge, which is why it's so important. When I highlighted in the past, when we got a bullish divergence on the relative strength index, that's a potential buy signal. And then we got the MACD buy signal on, the MACD itself. Now we're combining two things together, and that led to a 100% rally. Well, right here, we're combining the chart pattern with the MACD sell signal, and that led to a 50% drop. Okay, so looking at what we're doing right now in the current price action, again, we have that slight bullish divergence. We've got our MACD buy signal, and we're starting an uptrend. Okay, now there's two areas that we really need to watch out for and pay attention to. They're going to be some intermediary supply zones, right? And you can also call these resistance, but it's more of a resistance range rather than just one specific price level. Okay, so our overhead supply zones that we're basically need to be cautious of and look for some resistance is going to be about 0.034 to about 0.0334. Okay, that's our little small overhead supply zone. If we're able to break past there, we have a larger supply zone up here of 0.0369 all the way up to about 0.0400. Okay, so that's our two ranges that we really need to pay attention to if we're able to. And if you're not familiar with what supply and demand zones are, it's basically just a fancy way of saying where buyers and sellers are. So currently there's an imbalance of sellers in these areas, and we keep pushing lower every time we hit these price levels. Okay, so a demand zone is going to be an area where there's an imbalance of buy orders. Okay, so what you can do is that you can actually change a previous supply imbalance to a demand imbalance. And all that means is that, okay, well, in this area where there was a basically an imbalance of sell orders, we can possibly hit these ranges, consolidate, and then create an imbalance of buy orders and create new demand in these zones and push the price up higher. So that's really what we're going to be looking at. Okay, so those are basically our overhead resistance levels that we need to pay attention to. I gave you guys the support levels down below, 0.0272 and then 0.0231. Those are going to be all of the key levels that we need to watch over the coming weeks, as well as this channel right here, okay? Because this is our flag channel of our bear flag, right? And if we break through this channel to the downside, then most likely there's going to be more downside in the future. If we can break out of this channel to the upside, then it's going to be, a good signal, right, for another for more bullish activity on top of the MACD buy signal and on top of the slight bullish divergence that we have. Okay, so Hopefully you followed everything along in this video. And if you did, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be dropping videos like this every single week. And also I do viewer requests too. This was one of them. Make sure to comment down below if you want to see your ticker in the next video. I'll be happy to analyze it for you and let you know what levels and patterns and possible buy or sell signals that I see on the chart.